All right, good afternoon, everyone. With that, we will gavel in the first August meeting of the 2026-2027 school year. We got attendance recorded. Okay, we've not heard from Mr. Price, so hopefully he will join us. We will begin the meeting, the call to order, and then we will do the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. So if you would please stand. Flag at the back of the room. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. First item on tonight's agenda is approval of the actual agenda. So do I have a motion approving? I can leave you with the motion to approve. Do I have a second? Ms. Woodall with the second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. Those with an A. All right, the agenda is approved. We have our minutes from June 23rd that needs to be approved. Do I have a motion from the floor? Motion to approve. Mr. Schumacher with the motion to approve. Do I have a second? Thank you. Ms. Manigault with the second. All those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. Those opposed with an A. All right, the minutes are approved. Mr. Thorne, do we have anyone lined up for public comment tonight?
We do not.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, financial report. Ms. Crowder or Mr. Oh, it looks like Ms. Crowder is there with us. So we will turn this over to you for the financial statements for June and July for approval.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. I'll go over the July financials this evening, as well as a snapshot of how you ended June. Keeping in mind that the June financials have not been audited yet, so things may change a little bit. The audit should be finalized October, November timeframe, but you ended June with an operating net income of $1.2 million. When you add in the construction of $2.5 million, you get a total net loss of $1.28 million. The way that affects your fund balance, you had a fund equity of $8.2 million. Ending the year at the loss of 1.2 gives you a new fund balance of about 6.9 million. Are there any questions on that? Okay, I'm not hearing any, so I will continue on to the July financials. I'll share my screen. You should now be able to see the critical financial metrics for the month of July for James Island. Can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
Great. Okay, like I said, we will be looking at the critical financial metrics, starting with days cash on hand. James Island currently has just under 4 months worth of days cash on hand, which comes to 116 days. That's just under double the 2-month benchmark and includes both the operating and Ameriprise cash. Total operating net income is currently at a loss of $131,000, with a daily cash burn of just over $75,000. Moving on to the balance sheet for the month of July, James Island has $4.4 million in operating cash and $4.3 million in the Ameriprise investment accounts, for a total of $8.8 million in cash. As always, you can find an itemized list of accounts payable, as well as a list of bills paid in July in the acknowledgement packet, but we do pay all approved bills in bill.com daily. Continuing on to the statement of revenue and expenses, or the profit and loss statement. Looking first at revenue, James Island has realized about 8% of the total budgeted revenue of $28 million, meaning you've brought in about $2.2 million in revenue throughout the month of July. This is pretty much exactly where we'd expect you to be 1 month into the school year based on what we've budgeted. In expenses, overall expenses are sitting right at 91%, which again, within 2% of where we'd expect you to be. The largest expense on the P&L for July is going to be the Chromebooks for $300,000, which we did budget for. and that'll be under technology. Again, just to close out, we are ending July with a net loss of $131,682. This is common in the first month or two of the school year. There are a lot of startup expenses for the year, teacher supply checks, things like that. So we are not concerned about this net loss at this time. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Nothing heard. Dr. Musi is our treasurer. Anything that you wish to add?
No, thank you. No.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Crowder or Dr. Musi? Nothing heard. Thank you, Ms. Crowder, for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great evening.
You as well. So, Mr. Thorne, I know over the last couple of months, you and I have spoke numerous times about engagement with CCSD. Is there anything that you want to report in terms of the CTE issues we dealt with before, or anything new that's popped up as far as CCSD and potential inroads to our budget surplus, or anything that's going to impact anything moving forward?
I did submit our approved budget to them as required, so that did happen. That's what you guys approved in June. I inquired about the CT plan for requesting funds from CCSD. Essentially, the plan is the same plan they've used for forever. That is, in the spring, you request funds, submit a plan, and it gets approved during the budget process, CCSD, and then you get the funds the next fiscal year. So we found out obviously on May 17th or 18th, right? When the budget number came in and showed up, actually after Armenia came in, it approved a budget that was based on different information. So those plans would have needed to be submitted, probably before that time frame, because that's when they were approving their budget for a second reading. So I requested that we have a chance to submit an amended plan to CCSD, help to cover funds, and I cited the loss of $1.88 million. And I've not heard back yet. So I just sent requesting for the plan, was told the plan already exists. It's what you've been doing, which is what I thought would happen, which was the way that we probably would get no funds, additional funds based on what we've done in the past. Hopefully we can ask for more money for FTEs, positions. So we'll see if they say yes or no. Other schools have done that before, submitted plans during the school year that were amended. We're asking for that as well. I'm not hopeful, we're trying, but it's going to document our efforts as we talk to those that comes to vocational funding.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Thorne regarding that topic?
When was that request submitted?
We submitted a request in the spring for various things in Perkins funds. So we've always been doing that. So they're recycling a plan that's always been in place to get reasonable amount of funding. Actually, it shows up in our budget when she goes over the Perkins fund. So it's in there as a line item. It's always been, maybe approaches six figures. It helps pay for equipment, computers, and basically FF&E kind of stuff towards CTE. It can, according to an admin on our staff who worked in that department, that CCSD has used those funds for positions and probably still does. So we could also, but of course we found out about it after the fact.
I think that's my question. When did we request the opportunity to come back after the fact?
Just now.
Like the last week or two or something?
We were told by Mr. Prentice that they would be sharing the plan for how charter schools could request funds. He made it sound like there was going to be a brand new plan versus the plan, the Perkins funds is well established. It was kind of portrayed to us that there'd be a plan in place and we could request funds, charter schools could, for more voc funds. And all it really was is, we have this Perkins thing that we used in the past, and that's what you guys are going to use, which is after the fact. So it's we're just learning as we're going a little bit.
Mhm.
The way it was portrayed was we would have, I thought, a new plan to address what just happened.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Dorn. Moving on, leadership report, Ms. Cowart and Dr. Tucker.
See you guys again. We're back.
We don't have a giant report. We've only been in for about a week, but it was indeed a whirlwind and it went by really, really quickly. But it was very
Smooth.
It was smooth, and we're looking forward to a great year. One thing, walking in, I parked in the back of the science wing, and we have 2 new classrooms, and they look wonderful. I know Mr. Epson and Ms. Kendrick are very happy with those, and they're modern, they're nice, and
I think we should walk over there into the meetings because literally it's a stone's throw away.
yep, it is. It's nice.
It's nice.
I know a lot of our science teachers have attended some summer institutes, a lot of AP trainings, and they've put some pictures up there for us just of their excursions over the summer. Social studies, they did the same thing. I know there were some trips, some out of school trips in Switzerland from this Sellers, a specific group, and there are a lot of trainings within that department as well. Guidance has been very busy with scheduling. Today it's the 5th day mark, so hopefully they'll be able to breathe a little bit after all the schedule changes today. IB, we took a big old trip to Brussels at the end of May and early June. Ms. Cowart and I got to go, and
Mr. Thorne.
brought Mr. Thorne with us. We were very excited to have administration as a part of that too.
There's no proof in that picture.
There's one of a couple down, I think. I made an extra one.
That castle was amazing.
Yeah,
It was stunning. You're walking this path, all of a sudden it disappears out of the trees,
Yeah,
and
it's in a botanical garden in the New
yeah, it was breathtaking.
It was beautiful, and then this activity the kids really enjoyed. It was called trash fishing, and it's a company that cleans out basically all the canals in Brussels are not swimmable. They are full of trash, full of filth, so they're trying to do their part. So our kids, that's all the trash that they got out of the water and by the edge, and that was a great experience. And then about
yeah, the canoes. Really good, yeah. We also had Mr. Webster presented at a conference, I believe in Denver, and they actually decided to showcase our IB program, our experiences here in South Carolina with our IB Day of Service. So that was kind of fun for us too. But, all in all, it was we had a great time, and we're looking forward to a really good school year, and looking forward to some good things.
Awesome, great. Thank you. Any questions? All right, thank you very much. All right, moving on, next topic on our agenda, the board subcommittee reports. First up, finance, Dr. Musey.
Okay, just a couple of comments. Certainly our board experience with financial expenditures and budgets has been favorable for a number of years. I think it's rare. I think we can honestly say it's rare for any department to request something that wasn't provided. When that happens, it sets a certain level of expectation that there will always be funds available. That life has changed, and I just know we need to be sensitive to actual needs when they're there. And we need to be sensitive to the professional staff and see that this is something that they need to better the service that's being provided, while also trying to reflect honestly that any additional expense at this point adds to the deficit or adds to the amount that we transfer from savings to pay for things. Point is, it's a different time in their life. Sensitivity is probably more key than it's ever been. Appreciation for each other's roles. That's it.
All right, thank you, Dr. Musey. Any questions? All right, moving on, capital projects, Mr. Schumacher.
No substantial updates this time, but I am curious. Not sure where the stadium chat hasn't landed and over the last month or so over the summer.
Yeah, there's been no
Anything else?
communication
Yeah.
on that. My last communication was they're working on trying to design a concession, wrestling room, and restaurant concessions and wrestling complex to go in front. Hopefully we can build that so that there's room for future growth like that.
Thank
Do
you.
you think it'd be appropriate to have a quick check-in call on where that sits over the next couple of weeks?
First, I'll send an email to see
Yeah.
the status. Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be great. I just want to hear where it lies going into it.
So proper to add Mr. Schumacher, you can CC him on there so he can see the replies or whatever.
I'll email them her without that first.
Okay.
She was a little sensitive about board members and when they're included, not included. I'm trying not to step on toes. But,
You know how to best navigate those waters. So.
yeah,
Okay.
like you'll be fully informed.
Thank you. Any questions
In spring.
regarding capital project? All right. Moving on, principal evaluation support. I have no report there. And last, community engagement. Ms. Myers and Ms. Manigault.
Well, we have had to cancel or postpone, I would say, the golf tournament. I just think with the quick turnaround of planning it in the spring and it being August and so hot, we just didn't have the numbers.
We had the sponsors, which that's usually the hard part.
Right.
So it was a
Right.
dyslexic version. So we had 3 teams signed up. So
But I think
Yeah.
it's the heat, it's August, I think it's gonna be successful, but we're just putting a pause on it. We had started to get some great silent auction donations, and is that what y'all would agree, Coach Holland? And it's not happening, it's just, we're finding a new date.
and on the bright side, we had one sponsor that asked for their monies to be returned, but they have committed, and the other sponsors just said let it roll. So it's
And that's usually, I feel like, how it happens,
yeah.
everyone knows it's gonna continue.
And we could talk maybe a golf scramble, maybe that's jump the shark and it's something else now we can do or whatever, but we can wrap our heads around that and figure that out. So
Is there an option to do it on a Saturday?
I don't know if you spoke with Marshall there at the Muni
On
or
Saturday, I'm asking about a date in March, but we do not have school.
Okay. I've got a pretty darn sturdy relationship with Marshall, and I've helped him in some other stuff here and there. I would, let me know if I can be helpful in that chat. He's given me Fridays and Saturdays before. What
If you can get them, go ahead.
Yeah,
That's a
I was
quick-
just gonna say, let's talk about when we're targeting, and I'll see if I can.
Nearly every outing I've ever been in has been on a Saturday. There's been a few that haven't been.
A lot of people, in my experience, if you can do it on a Friday or a non-school day, something during the week, it's a lot easier for a lot of folks to get out and get excited about a day on the golf course rather than a weekend day
So
sometimes.
this hot Thursday when school just started which I understand that was all they had to offer at the time, but,
I think the Heat has a Bob couldn't even get anybody to play with him.
It's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, then more to come on that. I was gonna ask when the Trojan tailgate is scheduled. Is that something as board members we could help be a part of, or that would all go through
the Trojan Club.
Trojan Club?
Yeah, they lead
Okay.
that. So I know Mr. Schumacher's still plugged in on Trojan Club. So y'all,
Well, we had a tentative date. We're talking to Coach McCoy about it a little bit. I'd say I'll set a reminder to ping you about that on
Yeah.
maybe over the weekend. Let's get through Friday.
Oh, golly, yes. I'm wondering.
But yeah, I think it was the Ashley. We were targeting the Ashley Ridge game, I think, but trying to make sure he does have a concern about it becoming a distraction to his group a little bit too. So just want to make sure
That's
it's a
fair.
good day for everybody.
Yeah. The last question I had about community engagement, on September 3rd, is that when the open house is? Would you guys like some, is that correct? Or did I make that up?
It's not made up. I'm putting it.
Okay, is there a way that we can help and be present for that, or where you just let us know?
I think it'd be great to attend. Everyone's trying to find their way around.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I'll put it out.
So another Coach Holland, do we have a date yet for the Hall of Fame?
Yes. Which part of it? The Hall of Fame game or
The game, yeah. Can you, I assume basically Wednesday before is when we'll do the banquet, or Thursday, I can't remember. You boys helped us. Usually it's Wednesday.
Can you explain? I've never been, and I don't know what it is like. Can you explain it?
So this would be our third year.
Okay.
And so we started this working with Coach Holland 3 years ago. We put forth the initial Hall of Fame class. And at that point, we were very inclusive and not exclusive, meaning we tried to build some momentum. So we included Hall of Fame members across various years, the various schools that comprised James Allen Charter High School, Gresham Megget, James Allen, Fort Johnson, and then James Allen Charter High School. We looked at all the different sports. So we were very inclusive. We had a pretty large class. What would we have? Maybe like 24 initially. And we feel Miss Manigault helped us with the reception hall there, her church at camp in Hills Bluff. Yeah, and it was huge. It was well attended. Coach Holland gets Scotty Eisberg, Channel 4 Sports there. He MCs it. It's amazing. And then maybe last year we did 7 inductees. 4.
or the year before was, I think, 13.
Okay.
So now we're down to, every year it's going to be 3 or 4.
Yeah. So now we're more exclusive than inclusive and really drilling into people's stats and, you know, what they did and so forth. So, yeah. So we've
y'all
got
are always invited to it. So,
yeah, we include, the board. I work with Coach Holland. We have a subcommittee where we go through and review people's applications and we vote and so forth. He brings in subject matter experts, Coach Johnson, who's now St. John's High School. He comes in to help Coach Smith. Coach Giz, before he passed, helped us. Coach Seacrest, Coach Chisholm, she comes in and helps. So it's pretty thorough vetting. Yeah, it's been really good and very well received by the community. So, and I'm sorry, did you say that date?
It
For the
looks
game?
like the Ashley Ridge game 10-16.
So October 16th.
Okay.
So should we go ahead and maybe try to secure the facility for the?
I already have.
Already got it. Perfect.
Same facilities, yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm wondering, it might be cool.
I mean, if you invite me and via Google Calendar, I'll also invite the board. Helps.
13th.
October 13th.
And Coach Holland
Good.
works with Charleston Crab House. They cater it for us. It's an awesome meal. It's a good evening.
It's a cool night. Like, it really is. It's a neat community night.
All right, with that, we'll close out the board subcommittee reports. Moving on the agenda, so we have a request here, $30,000 to replace laundry equipment in stadium. Mr. Thorne, I'll turn that over to you for explanation.
So the laundry equipment, I believe this is the equipment that's by the wrestling room, below the stadium, and according to Coach McCoy, they have to wash the uniforms multiple times to get stains out. When they do, they have to hand wring uniforms because it's so old. I think they're approaching 30 years old or more.
It's 30 years old. Yeah, they're about 30 years old.
Yeah. So they're just 30 years old and they're just not doing the job. We have to clean our uniforms. It's used for football, obviously, but also for spring sports as well. It's ever using the field house. So it's, I mean, yeah, we're not swimming in money, but we also have to clean our clothes.
Plus, we have very expensive uniforms. So, being under a Nike contract, you got to think about it that way on the long-term aspect of it, of being able to keep the clothing for longer years. Yeah, you can wash it correctly. So that's a big thing too. But and just especially with wrestling, football, you're talking about any type of mold or anything like that. You don't want to be washing clothes 2 or 3 times. So, yeah, it's just we've gotten everything we can get out of those things.
So Dr. Musi is our treasurer. I know this was brought up in your finance meeting. Do you have a comment and or recommendation?
It was approved in finance and I would recommend we go ahead with that contract.
Okay. Any discussion or questions from the board?
So we have multiple ones, but that That one is in that below the stadium. The other ones are other places. It's not really feasible to have that many uniforms and trying to carry them all over the place. So
Well, this is replacing.
this is replacing the one underneath the stadium where football, wrestling, they all use that one.
Wash machine, 15,000. And a little over 15,000.
Who's in charge of that? Like, who has to?
So for football, Coach Smith does it.
No, at the end of the, I'm just curious, at the end of the game, everybody's taking off their gear, and then you have one person that's responsible for washing it all, and it's a big industrial type.
This for practice uniforms.
It's for everything. Practice, game, everything.
Are they movable if something happens and
No, they're
we
huge.
end up?
I mean,
changing?
yes,
Yeah,
if
you
we're
could-
gonna demo a building,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. But you wouldn't like just move it to,
Just for fun. Yeah, I just, if
Yeah.
anything progresses
Yeah.
with the stadium, it can be
Yeah,
shifted where it
totally.
needs to be.
Wash machine can handle 70 pounds of club. It's not like yours.
Yeah, these are industrial. I ran this through a buddy who I bought a bunch of hotel equipment from. We're not only is this good equipment, but it's I can't get these prices.
It's a deal.
Somebody's being nice to us.
Yeah, no, I'm just more curious about it. Okay.
This is probably 10 grand under market right now. Total quote if I had to wag at it, 8 to 10.
I would offer advice, but when I went to the laundry room, I didn't know which one was the washer or the dryer. My wife made me leave.
And by the way, get 30 years out of this. That's what it is.
Any other questions? All right, with that, does anyone have a motion for either approval or denial of the request?
Motion to approve.
Mr. Schumacher with a motion to approve the request for $30,000 to replace laundry equipment. Do I have a second? Ms. Woodall with a second. All those in favor of the motion on the table to approve the laundry equipment, please signify with an aye. Aye. Those opposed with a nay. All right, thank you, Coach Allen.
Thank you.
Jeremy, you're gonna be up for a while. It's this, and then I get your report.
Next up, all right, so there is a request for approval for $40,000 stipend for a social media content creator. Now, I know that was not reviewed by the finance committee prior, so this is new information for the board. So Coach Holland, we'll turn that over to you.
Yeah, so, obviously, we try to be the best there is athletically in the state of South Carolina. One of the places that we have really struggled has been with keeping up with social media. I mean, all of you know social media is just, it's humongous. We have some kids we know we've lost because our social media isn't up to speed with some of the other places in the county and in the state. So we think that it's crucial for us to continue to be one of the best in the state, that we need someone that can run it professionally for each one of our sports, because just having that continuity with everybody doing the same thing with the same person doing it, I think that means a lot. The reference I can give you is strength training. So when we went back and we hired a strength coach, that made all the difference in the world for us, because we had a consistent one person doing all of it. I kind of look at it the same way. We got all these different coaches, just whenever they got free time, throwing stuff in there. This would make a huge difference for that. Not only for athletics, but this person's also willing to come in and do academics as well, and also run our social media for our school. Do that as well.
Pep rallies, proms, special events.
So this would be one individual, or it'd be a company,
Individual.
just one individual?
Are they already on staff?
No.
No, this would be like a singular.
You want to talk a little bit about that person's, their abilities or with their past experience?
Cannot open session.
If you're not naming them, you should be able to.
Just, yeah, talk about
Let's talk about
their experience in general.
So this person has worked in other schools in this area in the Low Country, and has run social media for those schools. They've done some work for us as well. Some of the stuff that's got the most views from our athletics standpoint, this person ran those. this person also ran some other stuff as far as other schools. And I have some links here that you can see some of their work.
While he's pulling that up, a quick question. You said we've lost kids, meaning kids because they're not getting enough social media time athletically. They feel like that's hurting their recruiting process.
I just know that this year we had a kid who left and went to another school because of the lack of social media at our school. Now, we can all debate whether that's, but
But in
This
their
is a-
mind, was that what was meant? by that?
that's what we're being told.
Okay.
It's a major part of today. I mean, you can't go
It really
on any
is.
college website, look at any, I mean, it is a huge deal for our kids and we're lacking.
When I will tag on to that, and I think Ms. Woodall, Mr. Dr. Musi, we were on the board at one point where we had a case where a coach was like interacting with a student on social media, and we had basically kind of forbade that. So it's tough for the coaches to promote kids when we said basically for the coaches and kids not to have a social media interaction. So this would be a good intermediary step, that it's an individual that basically is not in the line of a coach showing preference or whatever. Somebody is agnostic of the leadership chain as far as a given team or sport that could go in and basically build the content. So
if you go back, Mr. Thorne, if you go back to that page and go to the very top one with baseball, if you go up top, you can actually click on it and play it. Go down a little more. You should see a play button right there, that middle one, black and white middle one. We had to unclick.
that individual.
Who's millionaire that night?
I'd just like to comment that what you see online is your perspective, right, of what is happening within that school, what's happening within that team, and other schools in our area. You can tell, like, the teachers it looks like the teachers love going to work there, that, you know, just a bunch of cool things that are happening. I think this would really benefit just our community and knowing about the IB program too. I mean, there are a lot of people that don't even know what that is. So having some videos to show would be great. I did 2 videos in the last week and probably spent 20 hours trying to get those videos done. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I was excited about doing something,
How
but
many
you
views?
can't do that all year.
How many views did you get on the last one?
6,000 views for the teacher,
The walkout. Yeah.
video.
So that's kind of the metric of success of views.
Yes.
So I have a question. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What are the other high schools doing? Like, what is Wando doing? Do people have someone that they've hired that strictly does that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Somerville, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
if
I'm
you
just, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
if you look at
curious.
Somerville, Ashley Ridge, these schools, and you go and look at their sports and their school, these people are being hired to come in and do.
There's somebody on staff.
It's,
I think West Ashley has a communications director.
West Ashley is their assistant principal and then a teacher, director, communications. person.
That's what I
That's
feel
it.
like.
They're-
Normally it's like an admin or someone it's pushed upon.
And I also I think that Somerville probably is pushing more athletics, but I'm just excited about being able to push our club and our programs and performing arts and, you know, more than just athletics, because we need to advertise more than just athletics at our school.
I mean,
And what's happening in here.
I agree. I mean, I agree.
So,
But they would come in and do all these fun things like she did. This person would come in and do those things with the teachers and with the staff and get to know
kids
them.
and-
And the vision for this is hopefully, if it's not this person, the next person is, we might push this person into the classroom to become like a teacher and to come to do all of this with our own kids and all. In the future, that's kind of what we're hoping this kind of leads to. Because it is, I mean, it's becoming such a huge thing, both school-wise and athletic-wise.
The funding source is pupil activity student fees. Just reference, we haven't got the audited financial report of last year, but ending June 30, there was $293 budgeted. We spent all but 46,000, which meant we had 46,000 available then. And this comes in at 40,000, so it's feasible. It's the same. It would pay for itself.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think in a number of ways, some measurable, some not. You know, I think from a community and general community awareness standpoint, I know that with Trojan Club we struggled for a little while with the continuity of it. There's 12 or more groups trying to kind of do it all together, and I mean, if I search my Instagram right now for James Island, like 9 links pop up. So I don't know, would any of that get consolidated, or are the team still going to do individual stuff, or any idea yet?
It's possible that some of the teams could, and this will take the pressure off of most of the coaches with that, because they're going to have one guy that is going to come in and do their games as well.
Being able to repost stuff instead of create stuff is probably pretty helpful. I also would guess that there's some marketing advantages to it to get attendance at things and tickets sold, et cetera, et cetera.
The other aspect that I want to touch on is our lottery. We're getting the same number of applicants every year, which is around 400 kids. The acceptance rate has declined dramatically. We are at 1,600. It's in my report, so we're at capacity, we're doing good. But we're used to having a wait list of 40 kids, 50 kids in the freshman list. So we're getting turned down by a large number of applicants. I think the days of going to the middle school and doing a presentation and showing stuff is not nearly as effective as this part. Seeing maybe the pep rally that had the giant snake and fear factor going on, and the athletic success is going to draw more kids in. The IB being highlighted versus going to a slideshow and there's 20 parents there or 10 parents there. This is reaching a lot more people.
Yeah.
But I assume we would have a contract with this individual, and it would basically show kind of do's and don'ts, meaning they cannot use images of the kids to promote anything else. We would have some type of contract with the individual.
Yes.
I think if we did pursue that path, I think it'd be worth having our legal counsel look at it, just to make sure the protection of the kid, as far as their images and so forth.
And it's noted that that's important too in the scope associated with this.
This isn't the part-time position. This is a
Yeah.
part-time.
It'd be a contracted 1-year position.
Would they be housed at school, or no? They just do their own thing? They go to what they need to go to? That's awesome.
So we would let this person know what's happening in our school, what clubs are meeting, those kind of things, and they would come and film, do their thing, and then kind of do their work.
And once voted on, like this would be effective immediately, or?
Yeah, the person's already ready to go.
Okay.
Are they, as part of their scope, include presenting, when I've done this in the past for businesses, like you get a January, February, almost a weekly plan of what's going to be posted to make sure that, whoever's going to be running this on behalf of the school, working, the primary point of contact, that they know that we're getting our money's worth, and that the postings are things we want and not just what a consultant thinks we might want.
Right.
Is that, for what it's worth in operating it, that was a really helpful tool, but.
We had discussed like weekly plans with this person. Monthly.
Diverse.
I just want to make sure they're not winging.
Like between the two
No,
of you,
this person
cover
would not
academics,
wing
it.
all of it.
Perfect.
Okay, that's awesome.
Any other questions regarding the request?
There's certain amount of money you don't have to put like a bid out for people to submit like a.
It's a stipend.
Like,
So it's like advertising for a coaching position. You can interview one or two or three. There's far less, almost no protections because it's not an actual employment position.
This person would not get the money all up front. They would be paid in. That's what it was. Yeah.
All right.
Is this $40,000 number based on a quote that we're confident in?
So it's based off of what this person came from, the place they came from. And obviously we did travel, so we want to add the travel from where they would be traveling from to get to the school. So that's kind of where that number came from.
You fairly confident that number holds for the term of the school year?
They use their own equipment. And
Like 1099, we don't have any tax.
Correct, no tax, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
all right, so there is a motion on the floor to approve the $40,000 stipend for the social media content creator. Anyone wish to second Mr. Schumacher's motion? Dr. Musey with the second. All those in favor of the motion on the floor, please signify with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed with an A. All right, you guys have it. Thank you, Coach
Very
Hong.
much.
Right, back over to you, Coach Hong, for the athletic report.
I don't have a lot. We just got started. Obviously, the heat has been a big thing. I was speaking earlier. The heat got up to the wet bowl, which is what we look at as to whether kids can get out, practice or not. It got up to 97.1 today. I've never seen that.
What does that mean?
82. So 82 is about our cutoff. We have to start either peeling some layers off, or like football can't go full pads, has to be helmet, shoulder pads. So you're talking like about 82, and we got it to 97.1 today. So that lets you know how. In fact, football practice is 6 this morning, just so they can get a practice in. So it's uncharted territory, but I mean, we have one of the best in the business athletic trainers, so she will not let them get out there when it's dangerous.
Could it affect Friday night's game?
So we are looking at Friday night's game. I met with her today. We contacted Perry Weather, and we were going to look today. They're calculating about 89 degrees at kickoff at 7:30. So we're trying to look at what the wet bowl looks like at 89 degrees. And then we're going to kind of make a decision from there. More than likely, we're looking at moving the game to 8 or 8:30 p.m. Try to get it in. Yeah.
In my pajamas.
Yep, same.
The last thing we want for fans and for kids is to get started, go sit down, have to wait for a period, then have to warm up again, and all. So we're trying to calculate it to where warm-ups, they're not in full pads, but they're close. We're trying to make it where at warm-up, they just continue to flow through. We don't have to make any stops. So that's kind of where we're looking at the temperatures. It's a Friday night. We don't have any Saturday college football games, none of that kind of stuff. So we feel like we kind of have a little bit of leniency there with the time, and it's going to be absolutely jam-packed. I think this is the biggest game of the state of South Dakota. So we've already heard from multiple people around the whole state that they're coming down to watch the game. So it's going to be a really big game for us. So football, the top four games we have, everybody's ranked top 15 of all classifications, not just R5A. So we have a pretty tough schedule coming up with that. Volleyball gets kicked off on Thursday. Our first match is Thursday. We obviously have a new coach this year. I've been getting a lot of pretty positive feedback from that. So that's going well. Cross country, everybody's just kind of getting started. Any of the outdoor sports, practice at 6 a.m. We got a girls tennis coach as well. So everyone's just trying to get practice in when they can. Obviously, I don't think we've met since then, but baseball, 3-time state title. I look back today, I don't believe anyone in 4A or 5A has won back-to-back in the history of the highest classification. So, of course, we were 4A with one of them, but Yeah, major accomplishment. They finished in the top 10 in 2 polls in the nation last year. So good stuff. Yeah, kids and coaches are doing a great job.
I know we spoke about it over the summer and some of the board manual. Like, can you just explain a little bit of what happened as far as our football program and basically the fact that our coach will be sidelined? I don't think we've addressed that
Yeah,
before.
hopefully this doesn't get plastered on the media. So we had a situation where we had someone who did not know that they were doing anything wrong, was running a camp and was just trying to make some money on the side. And when they were doing that, unfortunately, it was a closed season when a coach could not work with their players. And some of our players were in the camp with this coach. And so we got someone, we don't know who, but someone turned us into the high school league. High school league asked me to investigate it. I looked into it, and sure enough, there was definitely 2 days that we were violation of a closed season, which is a really, really big deal to the high school league. So we did get fined. We're limited to only one scrimmage, which is, they called it Jamboree in North Carolina. We called the high school league. They said, no, it's, in our eyes, that's a scrimmage. So we only had one scrimmage. Coach McCoy cannot coach first 2 games of the year, and we cannot host any home playoff games. So that is our punishment from the high school league for violating those two days.
Again, just to reiterate, so it was not Coach McCoy's fault. He was not involved, but as a coach.
I mean, I take it as the athletic director. We didn't, we should know better, and our assistant coaches should know better. So I'll take the blame for that. But it was not something done intentionally or trying to violate the rules. It's just the day and age we live in. Heavy punishment.
Who head coaches those first 2 games? Person
It's kind of probably a team effort.
Yeah.
Coach Blades, our defense coordinator, has had head coaching experience. Coach Hilliard has had head coaching experience. So we have people on the sidelines that have head coaching experience. So it'll be fine. Coach Boyd's not happy. So
No.
no.
like not in the stadium? Right. Oh, goodness.
They're in zip code. No.
Fly to it.
So the-
It's undisclosed, like.
Russell.
Violation of closed season is one of the biggest penalties that the high school leagues can get. So that's why it's so harsh. Really, there's not a lot we can do about it. So
That's what it is.
Gonna be prepared. There'll be a lot of questions and things for the.
there will, and we're ready to face those when they come. I'm sure the media's they'll figure it out Friday night. If they don't figure it out, then but they'll figure out. It's okay. We'll face it head on. Me as the head of the athletic program, I'll face it.
We were not prime time tonight.
On YouTube.
We'll get through it.
Here's like one
All right, Coach Allen, thank you for that insight. All right, moving on. Maintenance report, Mr. Thorne.
Sure. Okay, maintenance, main building envelope resealing project is still ongoing and we'll keep going to next month. So that's basically redoing all the mortar and the bricks. They actually removed a lot of the corner bricks. We put them back in, we get it all the way down part of the building. So keeps the water out essentially. Final phase of a 3-year roofing project is coming to a close. Should be done next week. You see spot front, they're almost done. Heat recovery wheel annex above the PAC was replaced in July. 100% of the teacher work orders are completed, which is 87 since June 23rd.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments regarding the maintenance report? All right, moving on. School leader report. Back to you, Mr. Thorne.
Sure. Opening 5 days. One of the big things we did is introduce on-time attendance, which basically is it's cost-wise the same as Smart Pass, but the kids are going to clock in with their ID badge, which goes right into Power School. We tried it out today, so the first day was active with one teacher, and tomorrow we're going to launch with the entire building carrying. Done.
You better get with Brad, because he told me tomorrow's the day.
Okay, so hopefully by the end of the week, we have 100% of the teachers using on-time attendance. The one that today loved it. They scan in. It is so fast, it's like scanning groceries at Harris Teeter. Boom, 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 boom. And then even when you scan in before the bell, if you scanned in, you scan again, it means you're asked for a pass to go get water or whatever else. So that's a very convenient system for the teachers and the kids. They go in and out. Helps us get kids to wear IDs around the school. It helps with school safety. That's good. So that was a big thing. And then he also pointed out, Richard James, the guy who designed this platform. He is a Power School guru. So just how to combine classes, how to do things in Power School. Teachers were just oohing and ahhing the entire time during the presentation. So that went very well. So everyone's pretty excited. I think the kids are probably, okay, whatever. But when it comes to the text messaging about being absent versus sending in a parent note, now a parent can text in that your daughter Peyton's gonna be sick. It's a parent note that goes into Power School, no paper. If there's a doctor's note, take a picture, attach it, goes into Power School. So that is a huge convenience for everyone involved, for the parents, for the school. We really have thousands of notes back there that no one ever sees again. We have to file. So huge convenience factor. So looking forward to that. Main theme this year is power, which is somewhere down here. I think the acronym, I forgot. It's not good to put it in there because I can't possibly remember what that stands for. I know it's purpose, opportunity, work. I know it's results. That we tried to structure the first week so teachers had, of course, the vast majority of time to prepare for the school year. One thing we didn't start, some teachers started this year is the Trojan Cup to help improve staff morale, make it even better. All the teachers are divided up into 11 teams and they have things to do, lunch together, assignments, secret missions, that kind of stuff. So there'll be monthly points they accumulate and they'll win prizes. So everyone's pretty excited about that. As far as CTE, we've talked about this, just about the funding. I explained it already. We're asking how we can get more funds. Here's our enrollment. We're at 1606, which is good. We got 29 at early college. These have already been subtracted out of here. So that's 1606 in the building and not counting these students here. After the 10-day drop, we'll be probably at 1596 or something like that. We'll be below. So we'll be in good shape. So we're filling the school up still, but waitlist is essentially at 0 across all grade levels. Maybe a onesie twosie as they trickle in. It's very minimal. School safety, we added all the drills to the calendar for the year, and then the honor searches and pouches start next week. As far as technology, it's all been about running tech support for the Chromebooks as they get passed out to the students. Also, teachers, they got new computers. About 25% of the staff got new computers. He played a big role in getting on-time attendance set up. So every classroom's got a Chromebook, RFID scanner. So Chris has got to take care of all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of work to make that happen. Phase 2 of the restrooms is essentially done. They've broken some sinks going to the boys' restrooms in the old 700, 800 hallway. So they got to order some new ones. So that'll be done momentarily. Fortunately, this girls' restroom right here, the sinks won't drain right now. So currently that one's shut down. That was not renovated this year. It was done last year. So there's a plumbing issue that we're going to go into the wall, try and fix. That's a major issue because that's like the most central bathroom next to the cafeteria, et cetera. So if we need to, we prefer to buying temporary sinks to put in there. Which you can use in the future as well. But that's a concern for sure. So as far as science classroom update, we got the occupancy from OSF. So we can go next door for a few seconds. You guys can check it out. The punch list is, there's an initial punch list. There's a 6 months. punch list and then 1 year. So, working through that. Virtual replacement, we already talked about. Marty mentioned this part. Board elections, we're going to begin advertising at the start of September. This is new law. You must do at least 30 days prior to the election. And since we swear in third week in October, working backwards, we need to kind of move our timeline up a week and a half. But be thinking about those who are leading, about who you can recruit to join our board. Great board now. We want to keep good people in, and it's hard. It's commitment, and it's not as much. It was more fun before, and we had more money.
We'll have
We'll
one
get back
parent seat open and 2 at large.
Dr. Musey and Nick,
Parent.
Parent,
And I'm a community member.
Yeah.
2 community, and
2
1
communities.
And that's my report. Open house is September 3rd, 5 to 7. Sent you an invite via Google invite during the meeting, so it should be in your inbox. Please stop by. It's always fun to see people excited to be here, trying to find places. That's it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thorne. On the agenda, there's no reason to go into executive session. Does anyone on the board have a reason for us to go into executive session to discuss anything? Nothing heard. All right, with that, this will close out the August James Allen Charter High School board meeting.
Oh, yeah.